Hello once again, one and all. It's been over a week since my last video and something interesting has happened. Now, if you're familiar with the web series Screw Attack, you would know that recently, well, given a week or so, they finally announced roughly who's going to be taking part in the next death battle. Basically, in this video, I'm going to be giving my predictions on the death battle between Godzilla and his opponent that was just announced last night, Gamera. Even before the whole death battle series came along, a lot of kaiju fans have wanted to see Godzilla and Gamera clash with each other. It's going to be interesting about how they're going to do it, but the main thing that's kind of on my mind at the moment is which version of the monsters they're going to use. Now, they haven't really given anything away other than announced that Godzilla and Gamera are going to fight, but they're not going to show yet just what version of the monsters they're going to use. It's going to be interesting because isn't there over like 29 different versions of Godzilla? Personally, I think they might use the Heisei Godzilla, or to be a little more precise, the Heisei Godzilla that was from 1991 to about 1995. I say this because it was one of his more equal incarnations, and I think that this particular iteration of Godzilla would be a great matchup for Gamera. Now I've gotten onto the subject of Gamera, the Showa Gamera, or the first generation, is probably not going to be the version they use, simply because abilities wise he does not even contend with Godzilla from the Heisei. Let's see, the Millennium Gamera, probably the same thing. I mean, he's strong as all kaiju are, but abilities wise he was fairly limited, and he showed none of the abilities he does in the Heisei series. All that said, I'm hoping that this is going to be the version of Gamera they use in the death battle, mainly because abilities wise he has much more here than he has done in any other incarnation. For example, he has the ability to manipulate and use mana, which is natural energy that the Earth has and is readily available to him. He also has the ability to manipulate said energy to replace lost limbs, as seen in Gamera Revenge of Iris, when Iris pins Gamera's arm to the wall using one of its own appendages, shall we say, and Gamera basically blew off his own arm and used pyrokinetic energy to give himself an energy fist or such, and he used this to penetrate and destroy Iris's core, making the monster self-destruct in a sense. So ultimately, who do I think is going to win this death battle? Being a Godzilla and Gamera fan, it's hard to call for me, but I lean more towards Godzilla slightly because he has more fighting experience. He's battled a huge variety of monsters and, atomic breath. One thing that might come into play is Godzilla and Gamera's weakness to cold, because in Godzilla vs. Destroyer they managed to freeze Godzilla with cadmium missiles, and Gamera was frozen by Barugon in Gamera vs. Barugon. So I have a feeling that that might come into play at some point in the death battle. The monsters do have similar abilities to each other, like both Godzilla and Gamera can regenerate. That's another reason why I'm leaning more towards Godzilla, because Godzilla, it established in Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS about Godzilla's healing rate. In Godzilla 2000 they talk about the G cells, which basically heal him instantly. But in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, towards the end, when Mechagodzilla actually stabs Godzilla in the chest and creates a bit of a cavity in the chest, towards the end of that we clearly see the injury, and in Tokyo SOS this injury is still healing. So that could ultimately be the deciding factor, healing rate and endurance. I mean, again, I think Godzilla in that respect, because of Final Wars, because he's chasing the Gotengo, the ship in the film, after he is released from the ice in Antarctica, and then he goes around defeating every monster that crosses his path, from Rodan, Angulus, Kumonga, Karakiris, Gigan twice, Kaiser Ghidorah, Monster X, you name it. He basically decimates every one of these monsters. So in that respect, by fighting all those monsters over, what they say it was, like a 48-hour period, I mean, the dude's got to be tired after that. I'm like I said, I lean more towards Godzilla in that respect, because I'm not dissing Gamera. He is the best matchup for Godzilla. It's just a few factors are sort of against him in a way. But as I may have explained earlier, when Gamera has no choice in Revenge of Iris, he blows up his arm and then comes back, exploits a monster's weakness and decimates them. So it's really hard to call. There's been no date given for this death battle. I can't wait to see it, because I've always been kind of curious, along with a lot of other people, just who is going to become King of the Kaiju. Is it Godzilla or Gamera? So that's basically it. Predictions. Like I said, I think Godzilla's going to win this death battle. But I will be surprised if Gamera pulls off an upset win, because he's done it before. So all we can really do is wait and see for the death battle to come online and see for ourselves ultimately who is the King of Kaiju. Right, that's basically my predictions for Godzilla vs. Gamera. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully the next video I'll be doing, hopefully sometime this week, is the review of Meg Primal Waters. The written review is about, let's see, about 70% done now, so hopefully I'll be doing that later this week. And I finally got my PlayStation Vita, and I will be reviewing this at some point in the near future. And again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see ya!